Okay, for more on this, let's bring in New York Post columnist and Fox News contributor Miranda Devine. Miranda, good morning to you. Just looking back at Ricchetti really quickly here and what came out of that the other day, people inside the room said he was combative, that he was defensive, but much like Ron Klain and the others, he still believed that President Biden had the mental capability and capacity to remain president. He even thought that he could win in 2024. How do you think today's interview is going to go with Donilon?
Well, I think Mike Donilon is like Steve Ricchetti. They were captive for many years, over a decade, to the Joe Biden delusion. The Joe Biden delusion that he was honest Joe, knew nothing about his son's overseas business dealings, that he was the poorest man in Congress, etc. It's a mythology that Joe Biden spun and that he ensnared these senior aides in, and it was to their benefit. Steve Ricchetti had, I think at one count, 6 to 8 family members working in the Biden administration. Mike Donilon also made a lot of money being paid to help out with the campaign. Mike Donilon, who we'll hear from today, is a particularly interesting character because he was described as Joe Biden's conscience. He has that same Catholic background, and unlike Joe Biden, he has a sort of a literary bent, and so he's able to make up or craft slogans like battling for the soul of America, etc., that made Joe Biden look like he was a moral, principled person. So all of that moral language that we heard from Joe Biden was really out of the brain of Mike Donilon, and it was a confection. So I'm not surprised that Steve Ricchetti, and I'm sure Mike Donilon will do the same thing today, sort of peddling the line that Joe Biden could have won the election, that he was perfectly sound of mind, no different from any other politician half his age, and that what we saw with our own eyes
let me just jump in here
was
for
not
a second.
true.
Here he is coming down the hall. Let's drop in here.
About his condition. Any reaction to that?
Why did a Parkinson's expert visit the White House 8 times in 8 months?
Camera stop.
Could President Biden have won the 24 election, sir?
Who is the leader of the Democratic Party?
Were you paid $4 million for that campaign?
So as often is the case, we don't get a lot of answers walking down the hall.
No, we do not.
I think Chet Pergram got a pat on the back yesterday or the day before.
And a hello, how are you?
That was about it. Miranda, I know you're still with us, so we'll see how this goes here and see whether or not it leads to anything. As we await on this, Kamala Harris has made a decision not to run for governor of California. That news came out yesterday. Here we go. I look forward to getting back out, listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly, and sharing more details in the months ahead about my own plans. And with that, there was this announcement. Roll it.
Just over a year ago, I launched my campaign for President of the United States. Since leaving office, I've spent a lot of time reflecting on those days, talking with my team, my family, my friends, and pulling my thoughts together. In essence, writing a journal that is this book, 107 Days. And I remain clear-eyed. I will never stop fighting to make our country reflect the very best of its ideals.
There it is. The book is out today, 107 Days, which is the extent of her campaign last summer. How do you see her future politically?
Well, I hope that she really reads the room and sees the writing on the wall and realizes she does not have a future in politics. She was an accidental vice president, chosen by Joe Biden because he just told the world that he was going to have a black woman as his vice president, and I guess she was the most palatable of the ones that were on offer. She really did not cover herself in glory. She was invisible as vice president. The various tasks that she was set, like being board as art, she failed miserably. And then her 107-day campaign, I mean, she was invisible, completely hopeless in front of a camera, couldn't get her thoughts together, as she just said she has thoughts. That's really a surprise to all of us, because whenever she expressed herself, it was just word salad and gobbledygook. and completely banal, not fitting for a president. So I hope she's just realised that her career is elsewhere. She'll have a break. You know, she's achieved as much as she ever will, and there are still elements of the Democratic Party that will see her kindly, and so she should just rest on her laurels like that and not waste the public's time with a presidential campaign.
Yeah, you know, there are some folks in Washington that aren't sure that she's going to run even after this announcement here, because the field is going to be so packed and people are already sort of laying the groundwork. I mean, this could be a huge political risk for her now that she has to start all over again. She doesn't just get handed the ticket. She actually will have to earn it and work for it. Miranda Devine, thank you for joining us. Always good to see you.
Thanks, Sasha.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.